hello. My name is Emily, and I'm going to be hosting the Magpie Book Club. I'm brand new to booktube, so I'm kind of nervous about it. I've been posting on TikTok mostly for about less than a year, but I find that it's really hard to post long format videos, so I wanted to kind of see if it would work better for me here. And I thought the best thing to do to introduce myself would be the booktube newbie tag. So here I am. So I guess we'll get right into it because I don't know what else we'd do. The first question is, why did I start this channel? Like I said literally a second ago, I've only been posting on TikTok for a few months, but I've been finding it really hard to cut down what I want to be saying about books into short videos. Even 3-minute videos are really long for TikTok, and I don't want to keep doing that because I feel like it's messing with my views because they're a bit longer and people just aren't watching the whole thing. But then I don't get to say the things that I want about the books, and I always want to talk about them a lot more. But yeah. The other reason that I started this is, it was more like a specific book kind of kicked it off. Curious Tides by Pascale, Lacelle, which I'm definitely wanting to make some videos about in the future, because I read it in April of this year, and then I read it again very recently to write a book review of it, and it was really interesting. I took a bunch of notes, and I was thinking of theories and plot holes and everything, and it's just really interesting to me. So once I finish this booktube newbie tag, I think I'm going to get into that a little bit more. So the next question is, what's going to be fun and unique about my channel? For one thing, I'm really only doing this to entertain myself. I'm not gonna do this for money. I'm not doing it if I feel bad about it. It's really just so that I can have fun, talk about books that I want to talk about in length. I can talk about theories, I can talk about analysis, I can talk about, really get into the reasons why I thought they were good or bad. So I'll be posting reviews and recommendations, and then I feel like with the name of the channel being a book club, I'm going to kind of somewhat host a book club, if anyone's interested. Obviously, I think the first book will be Curious Tides by Pascale Lacelle, because it was a really stunning read for me, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it. But yeah, I'll kind of read a book each month and review it. Maybe I'll reread it if I'm feeling like it, take some notes, make some theories, think some thoughts. I don't know. It's gonna be fun, but it's not gonna be super serious. It's just gonna be lighthearted. You can read it or you can just watch the videos, whatever. The other thing I think that's going to be fun about this channel is that it is also partly an art channel. I am an artist, and although it doesn't look like it because I just have blank walls behind me, but I am working on stuff to put up there. So hopefully by the next time I make a video, it will be all there. But yeah, I'm an artist, so occasionally you'll see me working on a few different projects. They don't ever have anything to do with the books themselves, just it's quite easy for me to focus on making the art and then voice over my thoughts about books, because if you couldn't tell, I'm having a lot of trouble talking to a camera. It's a lot, and I struggle with it. So hopefully I'll get better at it, but I might also do that. Question number 3 is, what am I most excited for? think the biggest thing is not having to worry about how long I'm talking for. I feel like I struggle with that a lot on TikTok because it just is so short form, really. Even though they've recently extended the maximum video length to an hour, no one is watching hour-long TikTok videos. The other thing is that I really prefer to talk about books more in depth, and I feel like the more I talk about them and the more I think out loud about them, the better review I can give them. So there's that. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Question 4, why do I love reading? There's a few reasons. One of them is that it's just like a very transportive medium for me. Like I can just pick up a book, sit down, and I just get absorbed into that book, and it's a nice, calm, meditative time while I'm reading it. Even if the book is like a thriller, if it's like really interesting, intense, and I'm like feeling anxiety about the things going on in the book, it's like just step out of reality and into a book and just absorb all that information. Question number 5 is what book series got me into reading, and I think this is true for a lot of people. It was the Percy Jackson series. Not surprising at all. I did read a lot before that, like Rainbow Magic Fairy books and stuff, but I feel like the Percy Jackson series is the one that really, really got me right into reading and like made me want to read bigger, heavier books. So yeah. 6, favorite books / genres. Obviously the OG favorite, Percy Jackson. I think of that first original series, The Lightning Thief, is probably my absolute favorite from it because I feel like it's just like, I like the introduction. I feel like it's really well done to that world. As far as favorite genres go, I think it's going to be most fantasy books I like. Romantasy I'm not a fan of because I find like I just find the romances can sometimes not be what I'm looking to read, and they're just not as interesting for me, and they kind of take away from the plot. But I like high fantasy and epic fantasy and those sort of things. The other thing that I really enjoy is like fantasy based on mythology. Similar to Percy Jackson, but in sort of different ways. Kind of depends. And then also I really enjoy lit fic. Sometimes. Sometimes I find them really boring, sometimes I find them really interesting. I've read The Secret History and The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and I really love those. But I feel like there's other ones out there that I haven't loved as much. There's also 2 other ones that I've read. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt and The Man with the Compound Eyes by Ming-Yi, I think. I'll have to double check if that's actually that author's name. But it's really interesting, and they're both about like grief and moving on and stuff, and it's just really interesting. Question 7 is, what challenges do I think I'm gonna face? I mean, I feel like I'm gonna struggle a lot with the technical editing and that side of it, and also just finding time and motivation to do it. But hopefully I can like kind of make up a little schedule or something. I'm not really sure. Number 9, where do you read? Pretty much mostly on my couch, since we've moved from mostly on my couch. But very occasionally I'll go read at a cafe, which which is always fun. I like that. It's like a nice little Saturday morning read for me, and then I get a coffee as well and just hang out. But yeah, mostly on the couch. And the final question is, what am I reading? Well, obviously, I'm actually not reading anything right at this very second, because I feel like I'm trying to put together all my thoughts for Curious Tides, and I feel like it is really hard for me to think about one book while I'm reading and trying to focus on another, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be reading new books, otherwise I wouldn't be making this channel. So the next book I'll be reading after I finish all the Curious Tide stuff is Bunny by Mona Awad, and then I also recently picked up Circe by Madeline Miller and The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper, which I'm really excited for. So, yeah, that's kind of the current reading trajectory. And that's also the end of the booktube newbie questions. So, yeah. I don't know. Come follow along if you want to. I think it'll be fun. And have a good day.